Welcome, welcome, Shenas. She's our neighbor. She comes from Botswana, so she's very much at home here, even though she was sent from Geneva to come and represent us. The reason that she's here is actually an indication that the disease that we are dealing with is a global problem. It's not only a problem for us in South Africa, it's a global problem. Now today is a World TB Day, as we have already heard in the past. But today's World TB Day is very special. I want you to know that. It's not like the other World TB Days we have had. This one is very special because the Deputy President is going to do two things today. One, is going to talk about World TB Day, as he has always done every year. That he's going to do. But the second thing, which he has never done before, is to launch a campaign called End TB Campaign. We have decided as a country that this disease called TB must go away. We don't want you to get used to the idea that we are living with this TB. Every day we'll come and talk and give speeches and all that and give treatment and go away. At some stage, TB must come to an end. And we believe that must happen from today. In Chinese, there is a saying that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Today, we are going to traverse this journey of 1,000 miles. Today is the first step. Now, what is this NTB campaign? What will be happening after the Deputy President has launched a scientific modeling, mathematical modeling called Tembisa, not Tembisa Township, but Tembisa, a promise. That modeling has shown that if in this country we can look for 5 million people every year and screen them for TB, and those who have got TB, we put them on treatment, we are likely to bring it to an end. So today is the first step towards this Tembisa model to look for 5 million people. On the 25th of February, at Kisani Baragwanath Hospital and Lillian Goy Community Health Center, we launched another campaign on looking for 1.1 million people who are HIV positive, who must be put on treatment. We launched that campaign because I'm sure you have heard about something called 95, 95, 95. To reach our 95, 95, 95, we need 1.1 million people. Now, this 1.1 million people who are looking for, we know them. We know them because they've tested and they are positive, but they are not on treatment. We know them. And so we have got a fairer idea where to look for them because we know them. They came to the health sector and tested for HIV, and they were found to be positive. Some of them even started treatment, but stopped it on the way. So we know them. 1.1 million campaign. Now today, this campaign we are launching, looking for 5 million people. Unfortunately, we do not know them. Unlike the 1.1 million, these 5 million, we do not know them. We are going to search for them. And how are we going to search for them? 3 things are going to happen in this campaign, which the DP is going to launch. 3 things going to happen. Number 1, anyone who has got TB in this country want all their family members to open for us their homes so that we come and screen them. I want to repeat this. All the patients who have got TB in South Africa, we need to screen all their family members. And today we are begging you, please open your home when health workers come. Because the person we know is this one with TB. We don't know the rest of the family members, but we know the one with TB because that person is on treatment. That person has come to our health facilities. So we are going to say, please show us all your family members who you are living with. We want to test them. So we are begging you today to understand why this campaign is launched by the DP himself. It's a huge campaign, bigger than the Department of Health. So open your homes. We want to come and screen you and put you on treatment if you are found to be having TB. The second thing, we will encourage all the HIV positive people also to test for the simple reason that TB and HIV/AIDS lie going together. After all, 80% of all the people who have got HIV, if they pass away, it's because of TB. We know that already. It's not a guesswork. So we'll ask them. Lastly, anybody who has had a treatment for TB, we would like to follow them up for 6 months. Twice, for at least every 6 months rather. Twice, to make sure that TB comes back. I will also add, those who have got diabetes, if you know you have got it, please make sure that you are screened. Because people with diabetes very, very easily develop TB. Now, the MEC here was giving you caps or presents after you answered some questions about the symptoms of TB. Coughing, chest pains, night sweat, loss of appetite and loss of weight, general body pains and weakness. Those are the symptoms and signs of TB. But we are here to warn you. Unfortunately, my leaders and the rest of us here, unfortunately, there are people who have got none of those. They are not coughing, they have got no chest pain, they are not losing weight, they are not losing appetite, they are not sweating during the night, but they've got TB. That's the unfortunate part. They've got TB. And even without these symptoms, they are spreading it. Because TB is spread in the air, they are spreading it. So that's why it's so important for us to screen people. Yesterday, in the meeting, in the community hall there, I said something and people complained. But unfortunately, I'm saying it again today. That while TB generally affects people from lower socioeconomic groups, TB can affect anybody. So what is that which I said which made people bubble? I said the only way to stop yourself from having TB, the only person who is safe from TB is the person who stopped to breathe. If you don't want to have TB, stop breathing. Then you will never get it. That I can guarantee you 100%. And I'm repeating myself. If you don't want to have TB, just stop breathing. You will never get it. As long as you breathe, you will definitely get it. And that's how big this problem is. So at this juncture, I'm going to call the Deputy President. This fight against HIV and AIDS is his official delegation. He's the Makulubas of TB and HIV and AIDS. And many other programs, he's the Makulubas of it. That's why we called Makulubas personally to launch this campaign. You know, DP, there was an army commander. There was an army commander who has never gone to church. I don't know whether he was an atheist or not, but he didn't go to church. But he knew from teachings that when there was trouble here on earth, God sent his only son to come and deal with that trouble. He knew that. So one day he was faced with a war, and he was so scared that for the first time in his life, he started praying. He never prayed before. He started praying and he said, "Oh God, I was told that when there is trouble on earth, you will send your son to come and deal with it. But the trouble I'm having now, this war I'm faced with, is so big that there's no place for children. I want you to come personally this time. Don't send your son. Come personally and face it." So in this battle, the DP never sent me. He came personally because it's a big one. And I'm not saying you are God, DP. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is to show the country that this is a serious battle. You came personally. You didn't say, "I'm delegating the minister to deal with it." That's how serious is it. Can we all stand up to welcome him, please? DP, the floor is yours.